Have you ever noticed how history sometimes hides in the smallest places? A narrow railway platform, a steel kettle, a boy serving tea, watching the world rush past him. That boy was Narendra Modi. But if you're expecting a straight line from tea stall to prime minister, forget it. This story twists, it pauses, it almost breaks, and then it keeps going. Let's rewind. Vadnagar, a small town in Gujarat. Dusty roads, old temples, loud morning prayers mixed with the sound of trains. Narendra was born here in 1950, third of 6 children. Not rich, not powerful, just curious. His father sold tea at the railway station. Young Narendra helped after school, not because it was romantic, because it was necessary. But here's the interesting part. He didn't just pour tea, he listened. Travelers talked about politics. Farmers argued about prices. Sadhus spoke about life and detachment. Most kids would get bored. He didn't. Something was quietly forming. At home, life was strict. Simple meals, discipline, no shortcuts. And then something unusual happened. As a teenager, Narendra left home. Not in anger, not in rebellion, in search. He wandered across India, lived in ashrams, met monks, cleaned floors, meditated for hours. Very few people talk about this phase, but it shaped everything. He learned to sleep on the floor, to eat little, to listen more than speak, and most importantly, to live without fear of discomfort. But this was only the beginning. He eventually returned to Gujarat, joined the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS. At first, no spotlight, no speeches, no fame. He worked backstage, organizing events, writing notes, managing logistics. Here's a lesser-known fact. For years, Modi was known more as a manager than a leader, the guy who fixed problems quietly, the one who stayed late when others left. He learned politics the hard way, by watching, by failing, by correcting. In 2001, everything changed. An earthquake hit Gujarat. The sitting chief minister stepped down. The party took a risk. They chose Narendra Modi. Many doubted him. He had never run a government before. And then came 2002, one of the darkest chapters in Gujarat's history. Violence, pain, accusations that still follow him today. Modi didn't escape criticism, nationally or internationally. For years, he was denied visas, questioned, watched closely. Some leaders would have faded. He didn't. Instead, he doubled down on governance. Roads, electricity, industry. Gujarat slowly became known for development. Not perfect, but noticeable. And then the national stage opened. 2014. A campaign like India had never seen. No royal surname, no dynasty. Just speeches, crowds, and one repeated line. Men bhi chokidar tha. I was also a watchman. People connected with that. A man who spoke directly, sometimes sharply, sometimes emotionally. Against all predictions, he won. Big. Narendra Modi became Prime Minister of India. But power didn't soften him. His days still started early. Yoga, files, meetings. He avoided luxury in public. Simple clothes, minimal personal life. Here's something most don't realize. Modi rarely takes vacations. He reads constantly, and he remembers details, names, places, small conversations. Leaders from other countries have mentioned this, quietly impressed. But leadership is never smooth. Demonetization shocked the nation. Some praised it, others suffered. GST brought confusion before clarity. COVID tested every decision. And then there was Article 370, a bold move, a risky one. Supporters saw strength. Critics saw danger. Through it all, Modi stayed Modi, focused, controlled, unapologetic. He spoke of toilets before temples, of startups before slogans, of self-reliance again and again. Make in India, Digital India, Swachh Bharat. Not just words, campaigns with pressure behind them. And yes, controversy followed him everywhere. But so did belief. For millions, he represents possibility, that background doesn't decide destiny, that discipline can beat privilege. From a boy who listened at a tea stall to a man addressing the world's biggest stages, this isn't a fairy tale. It's rough, complicated, still unfolding. Love him or criticize him, you can't ignore him. Because Narendra Modi didn't just enter Indian politics, he reshaped how power speaks, how leaders campaign, how stories inspire. And somewhere in Vadnagar, a railway platform still stands, quiet, as if remembering a boy who once stood there, listening and dreaming bigger than anyone expected. And who knows, this story may still be writing its next chapter.